Well, hey everybody, it's the Train Freak, and I'm in my garage again working on the layout, and I've decided today I'm going to go ahead and put in my motorized 130 foot scale turntable with DCC that is a Walthers cornerstone. And you're probably hearing some birds tweeting in the background because it's been kind of raining on and off all day today, hoping that the humidity and the heat doesn't start to climb up later on. But like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get this turntable in here. Now, before I get there, I always like to remind everybody to and make sure you shade in the bell so that way you can receive future notifications. Hit the thumbs up so that way it helps with the YouTube algorithms and more people can see my video. And if you want to comment, feel free to comment. Alright, so let me show you what I have. Alright, sitting in front of me, you can see I have a Walthers Cornerstone motorized 130 foot turntable with DCC. Now, I've already had this before, and here was the hole, which you can see junk under it, which that's completely fine, because that's why I built the shelving down here to begin with. That's got a whole bunch of track pieces and cork row bits, so yes. And so this is the hole that the turntable is going to go in. Now I've also got the roundhouse, which has a whole bunch of junk on it, but if I lift the, well, if I don't break it first, if I lift the roundhouse up, you can see where I've cut all the slots for the hits, you know, inside, which some of these I still have to add track to, so that's no big deal. But in order to start working on this section here and getting it over to the turntable, I've got to get the turntable put in place first. So I'm going to go ahead and unbox this thing and show you what it looks like from the inside. So if you'll give me a minute or two, I will return. So upon opening the box, one of the nice things that Walthers does provide is a drilling template, and it even gives you the measurements of how far your roundhouse needs to be away, which I think is really, really awesome. You know, 2 3/8 of an inch or 11 and 15/16 of an inch from the center. So I thought I would show that. If you haven't got one before and you do plan on getting one. Now, let's see here. I'm going to move that out of the way. Just set that right there for now. And this is how they pack it on the inside. We have the bridge over here. And let's see, what is this? Read before assembly. So, definitely something to do. Now, like I said, I've already assembled this before, so that's already done. Alright, move the big plastic piece. And ta-da, there is the turntable with some, looks like some weathering already done on it. And here is the bridge side. Now inside the turntable, you can see there's a whole bunch of those little finger clips. Now if I was to take this bridge out, which I'm going to try to do gently with one hand, those little bridge pieces align with that right there. Now if you notice, the outside has a cut in it. If I'm not mistaken, those are the rail pickups. So the thing about this turntable that I do not like, besides the fact, you know, it's when you try to rotate 180 degrees, it kills, you know, the power to the track. I wish Walthers would have come up with a different way of making it to where there's not intermittent power. But the one thing I really do love about this is I can go in and program that track or that bridge to stop at specific locations. Because it's kind of hard to see, but that little bitty hole right there is an infrared sensor. And let's see if I pull the bridge back out. And it's kind of dirty, but please do not move. Stay. Okay. Get the cobwebs off of that. But the other end the infrared sensor. So when you sync this up, this is going to line up with that hole over there. It's going to spin until it finds itself. And then from there, the bridge with the electronics that it has in right here will know exactly which way to be positioned as to where you program it. Now, from beyond the bridge, I'm going to put the bridge back in because I don't want to break it. Because I have been known to do that in the past, and that's not cool. See, okay, I do not have the controller in here. Here's the piece that goes on the bridge, but it uses a what I call a RJ45 or an Ethernet network plug. Us network admins, we call these RJ45s because that's the type of plug it's called. So you can extend the cable if you know how to do network wiring. Now, I've got the controller somewhere, and I did not put it back in the box. Let me go see if I can find that controller. I'll be right back. Okay, so here's my controller. And I don't have it plugged up right now, but you can see this is where the turntable would plug in. That's the RJ45. And then you would have track power, or your track bus actually going to both pairs. One of those is the communication to the main console itself, and then the other is the communication that goes to the track. I don't know why Walthers didn't just do one pair, but they require two pairs. Now, I do not have this on yet, so I will do another video later on about programming this thing. But you can control, you know, with this push button, that push button, you know, to spin it. And it's going to spin as long as you're holding it. And then you can let it go, and then you can program it once you get it exactly where you want it. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and pull this thing out, so that way I can show you one of the things that I was talking about, which is the dead zone on the turntable itself. So give me a minute and we will get that out and I will show it to you. Okay, so I've got the turntable upside down, and this is the section I was wanting to show you. Right there it says no track. This is the dead zone. In other words, if you got the bridge aligned to where it's here, and they even done it on that side as well, your train's not going to, or your locomotive is not going to have any power whatsoever. So for me, on this layout, it's probably best if I made my marks, which I'm just going to use these number 6 turnouts. I probably should go here and there with it, because I don't need that track too close to the diesel refueling station, but also I don't want it, you know, I want it to where I'm not going to be able to put a piece of track in. I can have track, like I said, I'm using these number 6s because that's what I got on hand. I could have a track there, which would also make sense to have, you know, my dead zone right here on the end, because I can't have track there. So it's kind of one of those happy mediums. You can't have track a full 360 degrees around this turntable because of the fact of that intermittent problem. Now, I know there is another YouTuber out there, Ray Bobel, and Ray, I hope I pronounced your last name correctly. He's got the 90-foot turntable, and he's had some issues with his, and I'm hoping what he did to his, he's able to fix that intermittent power problem, because if he did, that would make this whole thing so much better. And then the only thing that I would have to do is to attach a Digitrax Aero 1 relay just to the track feed on this turntable, so that way, if, you know, when it spins around, the polarity could automatically be reversed. So that's one thing I'm hoping, you know, he's able to figure out. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove these number 6 right turnouts, and I'm gonna get this turntable put in place so that way you can see exactly how it looks. Okay, so now the turntable's in place, which I have put the bridge on. I still have to put the, you know, the thing that goes over the center of the bridge. But what I went ahead and did was I marked out the sections where I cannot have any track. And like I said, I felt like that one was a good side to do, considering the fact that I've got my diesel refueling track right there. There's no need for me to have a track. That gives me all of this room here to add a few pieces of track in. And I could possibly add one track right here that goes along this side of the building. And I've also got room on this side to add track as well. So, like I said, unfortunately with this model of the turntable, there is what we call the dead zone. And you just have to pick out where you want that dead zone to be. And for me, I think this is probably going to be the best bet. So, unfortunately, I cannot get this thing powered up today. Because I still got to get my track bus over here. But eventually, one day, I will get this powered in. I will go ahead and get all of the tracks, including the missing tracks for the roundhouse, installed, and then eventually I will show y'all how you can program this stuff. So, alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this video, you found this information useful and helpful, and like I said, make sure you to subscribe, make sure you shade in the bell so you can get the future notifications of the videos that I produce. And then the other thing is to hit the thumbs up, like it, and then, comment your thoughts. Alright, y'all have a good one. Have a blessed day. And happy railroading. And be safe.